Happy Royal Rumble Sunday, folks, and welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single week right here on the show, I, Graham Giuseppe Matthews, break down all the content that I watch on the WWE Network. Today we're talking about the return of Ride Along White Plains Passage, featuring Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, the Usos, and Naomi. Overall, a very entertaining episode, and per usual, I will be breaking down the show in a play-by-play fashion, talking about all that happens between the two cars. So they are traveling from Boston to White Plains in New York, I believe, for a live event that Monday. This was taped right after Clash of Champions, just about a month ago, so not too old. Like I said, Kevin Owens and Sami in one car, and Naomi and the Usos in the other car. So we've had Naomi travel with Jimmy Uso before, not both Usos, and it might have been the Usos traveling with someone. They've been on the show a bunch of times. Kevin Owens has been on the show before with Chris Jericho, which was very entertaining. Maybe somebody else. And I know Sami Zayn, I think, has been on the show before with Neville and maybe Seth Rollins. I think it was actually Rollins and Cesaro and then Neville and Zayn. But anyway, Owens and Zayn have obviously been super great since joining forces on WWE TV as heels in the last few months, so putting them on Ride Along was only inevitable. So as Owens and Sami are leaving the arena from Clash of Champions, they're leaving the TD Garden, they run into AJ Styles, who apparently can't find his car. He's getting all pissed off. Or not Owens and Zayn, excuse me. It was the Usos that were driving off and they spotted Styles. So they invited him on in the car. He said, no thanks, I'm good, but I appreciate it. And they have a very good chemistry with one another. But AJ, I guess, ended up finding his car, but he was not the happiest camper at that moment. So Sami Zayn, before they even get in the car, drops his soda or his beer. I think it looked like a soda. He dropped it on the outside on the ground. It spilled open. It starts spraying out from the can. Poor Sami. Naomi in her car says that she misses Cameron, maybe thinking about reuniting the Funkadactyls. I'm good on that, but she said she misses Cameron. Anyway, Sami Zayn messes up the GPS, and him and Kevin have no idea where they're going. Jimmy Uso keeps his grill in from when they were wrestling earlier on in the night. The grill, the stuff they put in their teeth, whatever. And then Naomi tries it on, and Jimmy's like, get that shit out of your mouth. He didn't say that exactly, but in so many words. Kevin Owens, during the course of their car ride, calls the Usos. They're just kind of going back and forth, shooting the shit. They're just, talking to one another, which was great. Sami Zayn, apparently is the worst of all time when it comes to directions, according to what Kevin Owens said to the Usos over the phone. He said Sami is the worst of all time after they got them lost on the way to White Plains in New York. Anyway, back in the Usos' car, Jimmy recalls farting in the earlier episode of Ride Along with Naomi, which is funny because I'll talk about this on another episode of Total Divas, which aired this past week, 2 days after this, which I will be reviewing tomorrow here on the channel, where Naomi farted while they were getting a massage at a hotel with her and Jimmy. So it's very funny that both episodes aired during the course of the same week, but anyway. They have to roll down the windows because Jimmy's farting in the car, which obviously Jay and Naomi do not appreciate. Kevin Owens questions what Sami Zayn is eating, what food he brings in the car, and Sami Zayn offers his chicken to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens basically says, fuck this. Doesn't throw the whole chicken outside the window, but a little piece that Sami offered him, he takes the fork and throws it out the window, and then Sami Zayn chastises him for littering. The Usos recalled their favorite gear. They had worn red gear for Hell in a Cell. They wore blue gear, or blue and white, for SmackDown, to represent SmackDown at Survivor Series. And then they wore a yellowish gear for Clash of Champions. And they're really digging their gear, that they're matching, but they still have their own style. And then Naomi compares them to the Bella Twins, how they used to match when they were doing the whole Bella Twins thing. Not in the first few years of their career, but in recent years, when Brie would kind of wear the plaid, and then Nikki Bella would wear the jerseys and stuff like that. So they get compared to the Bellas by Naomi, and Jimmy says that's a good comparison because the Bella Twins are hot. And Naomi's like, what did you just say? And he's like, oh, hot in terms of they're on fire right now. They're doing real well, even though they're not in WWE. So I'm not sure what he was trying to get at there. Obviously, it was a scapegoat. Naomi's like, yeah, that's what you better be talking about. I can call them hot. You can't call them hot. It's just so great. Anyway, Kevin Owens and Sami make a quick stop, which is where they switch off, and Sami starts driving when they get back on the road. Naomi plays a tag team challenge game with the Usos, where if they can name the theme song, they earn a point, whatever. And if they don't get it right, they get slapped in the face. Not literally, but like theoretically or whatever. She just kind of plays slapping them around. So anyway, included in the challenge was the Quebecers, which they got right. Harlem Heat, which was easy because the first few seconds of that theme song are the same, the same beat of Booker T's theme song from WWE. It's the same song. Demolition, they did not get right, which was interesting. The Headbangers, they also did not get right, which I don't think I would have gotten that right either. I mean, they had a decent theme song, but it wasn't like iconic or anything. And Too Cool, obviously, they got right off the bat because obviously their father is Rikishi. So anyway, back in the Owens and Zayn card, they recall a ladder match they had in front of 23 people in Canada, which was interesting, and their time in the indie days. Kevin Owens chugs milk. The Usos recall all wearing shorts. They recall wearing shorts to WWE headquarters, and someone asked them, "Why are you wearing shorts? What if Vince walks in right now?" Which is kind of funny. They arrive at their destination at the hotel, and Sami Zayn goes, I think it was Kevin Owens actually. He goes, "Was that a terrible ending?" Yup, and they just keep on saying yup like the yup movement, and they make fun of the hotel lobby. And that was it. That was it for that episode of Ride Along. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are like an old married couple, even though they're two dudes. The chemistry they have is the same thing that you see on TV, because you can tell they just piss each other off as friends, and it's so funny to watch. They have just this great dynamic, and it's so entertaining, and they made for an awesome episode of Ride Along. You combine that with the Usos and obviously Naomi, and this was an A+ episode of Ride Along. So absolutely check it out. White Plains Passage, that edition of Ride Along, available on the WWE Network. Next time on Ride Along, as we were treated to a quick preview at the end of this episode, we got the Balor Club, which I think was taped right after they debuted on Raw a few weeks ago. Because I remember like Luke Gallows had posted a picture on Twitter of them riding in the car together, or right before they left the arena, which led to speculation they were going to be taping an episode of Ride Along, so which is kind of cool. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Finn Balor, of course. And we're also going to get the Ride Along debut of Elias, driving by himself. He's not even driving. He's in the back seat. I don't know who he's driving with, or if it's just him getting a ride, but he's going to be doing story time with Elias next time on Ride Along, so I very much cannot wait for that. Anyway, this was a great episode of Ride Along. Absolutely check it out, like I said, on the WWE Network. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thoroughly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow right here on the channel, the day after the Rumble, with my review of Total Divas Season 7 episode, I believe 11 of the show, the penultimate episode of Season 7. The season finale is this coming Wednesday as you guys hear this on the E! Network. Check it out. I will be talking about that episode next week, next Monday, on the WWE Network and Chill show here on YouTube. So anyway, guys, enjoy the Royal Rumble tonight. I'm Graham G. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.